Hey, everybody. Oh, there. Look, it was really dark there for a second. I'm just hopping on very, very fast. It's Tuesday. I just want to briefly talk about the last two series with Texas and Houston. Two very different series. We got swept by Texas. It sounded like to me like there was so much, um, frustration, which makes sense, right? I think many of us knew that those bats were gonna wake up. They woke up in this Houston series, right? And granted, Houston's an awful team right now. I feel for them. Um, Nobody wants a team where everybody is getting hurt. I mean, that's awful. And if you're a lifetime Seattle Mariners fan, I want this to be a positive place. So, um, you know, there's still a Major League Baseball team, and there's still a good Major League Baseball team. Um, they just don't have a lot of players that are well right now. So we'll see what this means for Houston as the season goes on. But it doesn't hurt to have a 4-game sweep against them early in the season that could come back at the end of the season to help us out. We don't know. So, as far as feelings though, like I'm just like everybody else. The end of that Texas series was hard. It's hard to get swept. Nobody wants to get swept. Um, Nobody wants to get swept by a division rival. um, you know, Texas has been playing really well. And it's still hard when, our top players weren't hitting. And yet I knew they would. I absolutely knew they would. It's April. Um, and then to watch, Cal and Julio and Josh yesterday just warmed my heart to watch him do it twice. Hit 2 home runs in that game yesterday. At one point the score was 5-0, and all of 5 of those runs were attributed to Josh. And I mean, people have to get on base, so we got to give them the credit, right? Cal and Julio were doing their job too. And I mean, I feel like they're all doing their jobs. Um, it's just, it's April in Seattle, and yet Josh hit 2 bombs, and they're starting to come alive. Does that mean they're going to stay this way? Probably not. We're gonna go through more slumps. I don't know what it's gonna look like in San Diego. San Diego's a good team this year. So, they've got a San Diego series Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week. Today, tomorrow, Thursday, and who knows? I mean, do we care about the Vetter Cup? I don't know if we care about the Vetter Cup or not, but um, you know, we want to win everything, right? So I don't know about all of you, but that Houston series was just fun for me. And so coming off, um, you know, being sad about the Texas series and where we were, we're still in 4th place in the AL West. That could change very easily this weekend or this week. Um, but we're all still neck and neck with each other. Although Houston's fallen a little bit behind because of that series this weekend, but we're all still so close together, right? It's April. And but my heart has been like feeling for Cal and for Julio and for Josh. Josh made a big deal out of how much he loves to hit in Seattle, and then he couldn't hit at the beginning of this season, and he's never hit in April, and now he's doing it. And this is the thing behind the scenes, right? These guys are working. Anybody who thinks that they're just slacking and like, why aren't they hitting these balls and why aren't they doing better? They're all doing their job, all of them. And none of them feel worse about this than probably them. Nobody feels worse than this, than about them being in a slump than them. That took a long time to come around, but we have to remember that. That's the whole point of this for me, is to remember that these guys are all human and they are all doing the best they can. I mean, you look at these pitchers for Houston that are all just going down, and that has to be so hard as human beings. Um, yeah, I mean, even watching Mooney, pitch a couple of nights ago and had kind of a rough outing, and you could see the relief on his face when they won that game. All these guys wanna win. They wanna win probably more than we want to win, and we all wanna win a lot. So, um, we have to remember that, right? We have to remember that they are human and they are all doing the best they can be doing. I mean, Brendan Donovan was really sick and then came in a game. Did he hit a home run? I think he got a hit that brought in he got an RBI, I think. So, um, you know, he's out there fist bumping people because he doesn't want to get too close to anybody. um, these guys all want to win. And this was a fun series. Let's hope San Diego is a fun series. And I saw today they called up Patrick. Sorry, I've been working all day. Patrick Wisdom, which I'm really excited about. I didn't expect that. And he's been rocking it in Tacoma. It looks like Rob Refsnyder's on paternity leave, so I don't know if they're just calling Patrick up to replace Rob for, his paternity leave. Um, which then also I have these feelings of like, what if Patrick comes up and he does really, really well, right? So if you're Rob Refsnyder right now, you're having a baby or you just had a baby, which is a lot for anybody who's ever had a baby. In my previous life, I worked in birth as a doula and childbirth educator. I mean, having a baby is a lot, and we don't talk about that. They get like 3 days off for paternity leave. So, Rob's going out on paternity leave, and then Patrick Wisdom's coming in, who is rocking it. So, you put yourself in both their heads, right? As Patrick Wisdom, and you're like, maybe I've got a spot if I can prove myself up here. Also, coming up to the big leagues, huge, 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 huge deal. Um, we have to remember that, right? Like that is a really big deal. You can be rocking it in AAA and you come up to, the show and there's a lot of stress and it's a lot of pressure. So we'll see what he does. But if you're Rob Refsnyder, right, and you're like, I'm having a baby, yay, that's amazing. Also, is Patrick Wisdom going to come take my job? Am I going back to AAA? What's happening here? Um, There's a lot these are human beings. This is their job and their lives. And, I think that there was a discussion, I think maybe I said a little bit about it, when Colt Emerson was given his contract and JP was down in AAA. And I think JP has come back up, and just proven himself, right? And I love JP. I I think there's a lot of other things at play in here that we can kind of see from the outside, but we're not experiencing them the way all of these players are experiencing them, their careers, and they all just I think they all want to win a World Series for Seattle. Um, and I can already tell you I have feelings about the idea of what if they do win a World Series and this is the end of JP's career at Seattle, and that just makes my heart hurt and it's very confusing. And we'll get there when we get there, right? Um, And if this is JP's last season with us, God, I'd really like them to win a World Series. JP deserves that. So, anyway, that's for much later down the road. Again, April. So, I got to go back to work. But I wanted to hop on here and just kind of, share a few feelings. Super fun to do a 4-game sweep of Houston. Could not be more fun. And and there's I've seen a lot of stuff on the internet about we're 4-0 since the Houston or since Ichiro's bat broke on his statue. I don't know, omens are omens, right? Good or bad. So being a Seattle Mariners fan is the greatest. It just is. Just is. So anyway, I hope you're all having some fun watching these games too. And we'll see how San Diego goes. Baseball is like this, right? But we'll see how San Diego goes, and then we're back home. I think they have a pretty long stretch coming up. Um, yeah, because they come back home on Friday, and I think it's Texas, right? Texas is coming into town. Maybe we can get some payback. So I hope you're all enjoying it. I hope you're having all your feelings. I hope you're remembering that the players are also having their feelings and they're all humans too. And we'll just keep on keeping on. So, all right, everybody. Happy mid April and go Mariners. Okay. Bye.